Alright, welcome back to another pickups video. This is for July 2026. I got a lot more this month than I did last month. Um, so anyway, let's just get started. The first things aren't even gaming related, but it's like DVDs. So uh, first off is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles classic series. These are the original cartoons from I guess, the 80s and early 90s. This is what I grew up watching as a kid. I saw this at Walmart. Wasn't even looking for it, but I went over there to the video section. $30 for this. I'm actually watching through it right now. I think there's like 193 episodes. Yeah, I'm trying to watch like a couple a night. They're only like 22 minutes long, but yeah, I mean, I don't know how many discs are in there, but pretty cool. I mean, $30. I mean, come on, for that much content. So that kind of got me on like a kick of like classic cartoons that I watched when I was a kid. So I bought a few more sets. Yeah, I paid 30 for that one. The Real Ghostbusters. It was like I watched Ninja Turtles and the Real Ghostbusters cartoons when I was a kid. That was like my two favorite shows. But this is every episode, over 100 episodes. I haven't even opened this yet. But here's the thing: don't like, you can get this on Amazon, right? But don't always like assume Amazon is like the cheapest price, because this is like, I think this was like $40 or $50 on Amazon. But if you go on eBay, people were selling it for like half the price. So I paid like $20 for this on eBay. On Amazon, it's like $45 for the exact same thing. Brand new, sealed. I'll open it when I get around to watching it. Hopefully, I get around to watching it soon. Dexter's Lab. Out of all the Cartoon Network cartoons, this was easily my favorite one. All 6 seasons. Nice box set. They actually have this at Walmart as well, but I think it's like $40 there. I paid about $25 after shipping on eBay. Brand new. So yeah, don't always assume that it's the cheapest price on Amazon, because it's not. They also had Courage the Cowardly Dog at Walmart. All the seasons. I don't know how many seasons of that show there were. Probably like two or three. It was like $17. I'm not a big enough fan of that show to want to buy that, so I passed on that. But yeah, I'll get around to watching this eventually. And the last DVD I bought was actually Johnny Bravo. This is only season one. It's 13 episodes. I paid like $7 for this on Amazon. It was brand new. I've already opened it and watched a few episodes. But there were two seasons, but apparently there's no collection that has. There's no like complete collection for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, I watched a few of the episodes on this, and I remember them like from when I was a kid. And there's like no way this show would be allowed like for like a kid's cartoon nowadays. Like, he's like grabbing women and like making out with them, and it's by today's standards, it's like super offensive. It's just crazy how things have changed over the past, basically, nearly 30 years. What's acceptable for like a kid's cartoon, and what's not, because this would not touch, being on the air nowadays, aimed towards like, children. But anyway, yeah, just a lot of nostalgia for this show. I thought it was funny back then. I still think it's funny now. So anyway, on to the gaming stuff. And I got a lot of gaming stuff. Actually went to like a swap meet, little like, small expo convention. What do you want to call it? Whatever you want to call it. And I got a few things. First thing I got was Kirby Star Allies. I paid 25 for this, and since this was at like a swap meet, it was all cash. So I was able to haggle, talk guys down a few bucks here and there. And the best part about those types of things, swap meets and whatever, is you're not paying tax on anything, so it's just straight cash. I think the guy wanted 30 for this, and I told him, "Would you do 25?" And he said, "Yeah." Actually, I got this for my son. I have a 4-year-old. He's 4.5 now, but he loves Kirby, and I have Forgotten Land and Return to Dreamland Deluxe on the Switch. This is the only one I have. I didn't have. I remember playing the demo for this game back in years ago, I think in like 2017 or 18 when it first came out, and not being impressed at all. So I don't really care about this game, which is why I didn't already have it. But I'm sure he'll enjoy it. We'll play it together. So I wouldn't have even gotten this if I didn't have a kid, to be honest. So yeah, I got that, $25. All right, onto the stuff that I got for me at this. And these games, all this came from this swap meet type thing. First thing, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Fall of the Foot Clan. Camera won't focus in on it. The label is heavily damaged, as you can see, but the game works fine. I paid $8 for this. He had it marked for 10. I asked him if he'd do 8. He said sure, which is actually pretty far under what this sells for on eBay. I think this goes for like $20 to $25. Obviously, you're going to get high end when it's in better condition than this. But yeah, I mean, for $8, I don't know why the camera won't focus better than it is. I don't know. But yeah, $8. I just need to get what is it? Back to the Sewers, Back from the Sewers. That's the one I had when I was a kid. It's pretty good. And then the Radical Rescue. I had that one when I was a kid. I actually didn't have this one as a kid, but I had the other two. Radical Rescue is a pretty rare game. I think it goes for like $60 or $70, and it's actually not that good of a game from what I remember. They tried to make like a Metroidvania type Ninja Turtles game, and from what I remember as a kid, I don't remember being able to get very far. It was kind of confusing and frustrating. But I would like to get that one someday, but I'm not going to pay like top dollar for that. So anyway, yeah, TMNT Fall of the Foot Clan, $8. Can't beat that. Next, Donkey Kong Land, the first one. I paid $15 for this. I already have the other two. Oddly enough, I didn't have the first one, but I had the other two. The other two are the harder of the three to find. None of these games are really like super valuable, but yeah. So all three yellow cartridges now in my collection. Metroid 2: Return of Samus. Still won't focus. Yeah, surprisingly, I didn't have this in my collection. I think the guy wanted 35. I asked him if he'd do 30. I believe I paid 30 for it, which is a little under what it goes for on eBay. This game has kind of gone up slightly in price. I feel like a couple years ago this was going for like $20. So I was like, I need to go ahead and get on this before, for whatever reason, it like jumps up in price. It's hard to tell since the camera won't focus, but it's actually in really good condition. When I first saw it, I was thinking that it might have been a reproduction because the label was in such good shape, but I opened it up and it's like legit, and you can actually see a few like little scratches on the label. So, but yeah, finally happy to have that in my collection. I'm a big Metroid fan, which is why I said I'm surprised I didn't have it already. Next is Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. So I have Harmony of Dissonance already. I don't have Circle of the Moon. Circle of the Moon it goes for what, like $20 maybe. And I'm not a big fan of Circle of the Moon. It's the other two, Harmony of Dissonance and Aria of Sorrow, the two best on the Game Boy Advance. Circle of the Moon feels super dated. But I actually consider Aria of Sorrow and Harmony of Dissonance like the best Metroidvania, Castlevania games, whatever, from that like the Game Boy, like DS time period. Like I have all the ones on DS. You can see right here, Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, and Order of Ecclesia. But I didn't have this. I have the Castlevania Advance Collection. You can see right there, I have the collector's edition. So I technically already had these games, but I didn't actually have the physical cartridge. And yeah, the label is jacked up. It is not in good condition, but I got a good price on it because the label was not in good condition. And for like Game Boy Advance games, I really am not super concerned about how the labels look if I can get a good price, because these aren't games that I like have displayed. Like on my shelf, like I have like I have certain like Super Nintendo and NES display because they're easy to display. These don't like display well on a shelf. I don't know. It's kind of stupid, but that's just kind of how I feel about it. But yeah, I have Harmony of Dissonance up there on the shelf, and its label's kind of messed up too. Not as bad as this one, but I think I paid, if I remember right, I think I paid $50 for this. You can't beat that price for this game. I think this game regularly goes for between like $80 and $100 depending on the condition. So yeah, $50, no tax. I mean, you can't beat it. And obviously this is like a legit cartridge. I opened it up just to like double check, but obviously you're not going to find a reproduction with a label this jacked up. So yeah, I need to get Circle of the Moon. I'll get it eventually. Like I said, and I'm not a huge fan of it. I've played through all 3 of the Game Boy Advance Castlevania games. Circle of the Moon, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I would like to just have it in the collection. And the last thing I got at this swap meet was this little Big Daddy BioShock figure. It came in a small box. It's in the closet behind me. I'm not gonna pull it out. But I think this was from like something from Loot Crate. I've heard of Loot Crate before. I really don't know what it was, other than like little toys, obviously. But I have the right there. You can see it. I think it's a Funko Pop Big Daddy. I have a few figures. You can see down here. But the guy had it marked for 20. I asked him if he'd do 15, and he was like, sure. I was like, yeah, I'm probably the only person interested in anything like this. But it's a nice little figure. It's got some weight to it too. I like it better than that one down there. So, only thing I wish the actual like mask like kind of protruded out. But yeah, anyway, I had it down here next to the bigger Big Daddy. So there you go. And the last thing I got, and these actually came in the mail today, are Amiibo. The Resident Evil Requiem, Resident Evil 9 Amiibo. Grace Ashcroft. Alright. And Leon Kennedy. I have no idea why they waited, 5 months to release Amiibo for Resident Evil 9. I mean, the game came out in I think February. So I don't know why they waited so long. The hype for the game, it's kind of died down. It's like, why not release them? I guess they just weren't ready. I don't know. But these Amiibo look like complete shit. When they first announced them and showed the screenshots, I was like, those look horrible. Like the faces, like they just look cheap. If any of you guys remember what Amiibo looked like when they first started making them, they weren't very good quality. That's what these look like. These look like Amiibo from like a decade ago. And again, my camera will not focus, so you can't really tell. But they do not look good. I have the Pragmata Amiibo, the Diana Amiibo, and it's just as bad. But I collect Amiibo, big Resident Evil fan, so I had to have them. And these are hard to get. These are just like the Pragmata Amiibo. These were GameStop exclusive. Nintendo did put them up for sale on their online store, but I believe it's sold out now. So the only place you could get these is at GameStop or Nintendo's online store. And I think they're sold out on both. So if you don't have these already, good luck getting them, because you're probably not going to be able to get them again, because these are more popular than the Pragmata Amiibo is. And that Amiibo was hard as hell to get. I was lucky to be able to get it. I got it on GameStop as well. But Nintendo sold it on their store for a very short amount of time before it sold out. So they're still cool to have. The quality sucks. They could be way, way better. But yeah, like I said, I collect Amiibo. Had to have them since I'm such a big Resident Evil fan. So anyway, yeah, a lot of stuff this month. I think that's everything. I can't think of anything else. All that. Yeah. So anyway, I'm sure I'll buy some more stuff that I don't need to add to my backlog in August, and I'll make another pickups video at the end of that month. So thanks for watching, everybody. See ya.